Welcome, marketers and posers alike. Coming up on today's show, OpenAI is set to start testing ads this week. Newsletter ads are punching above their weight. Didn't see that coming. And Skittles will take it live. If you work in marketing, advertising, or PR, this is where our industry is headed. Let's get it. Welcome to KSM's favorite YouTube show about marketing. I'm Matthew Newell.
And I'm Chris Stone. And this is the show that gets you the marketing info that you need faster than Outcast's bombs over Baghdad so that you can stomp this week like a million elephants. Matthew, are you ready to ride this train?
Hey, poor elephants. Here's what you need to know about an industry that stopped drug use overnight with just say no. Today's lead headline, it was inevitable, and now it's here. OpenAI and ChatGPT will start testing ads on its platforms this week. Reporting from Adweek confirms that there is a $250K minimum, with invitations being extended to select established brands like Marketing Machines and Mischief. How does this affect you? Watch what happens. It's only a matter of time that ChatGPT and its competitors have self-service applications like Google and Meta do currently.
Nothing says artificial intelligence quite like a robot whispering brand names right in between your existential questions. I can't wait for OpenAI to do more delving and unpacking into this game-changing breakthrough.
Next up in our marketing queue, as the noise continues in the digital and press spaces, research shows that newsletter advertising was up 40% in spend last year in 2025. Some prominent newsletters include the Washington Post, NBC, and TechCrunch. This is a highly targeted advertising tactic. Might be one of the great secret weapons right now in advertising if you are in the SaaS, healthcare, or fintech industries. Don't sleep on this opportunity.
Yeah, newsletter ads are a secret weapon. Yeah, the same way that a fax machine was cutting edge in 1987. It works because everyone else forgot that it actually existed.
And our final headline, in an industry as developed as advertising, we do not have many firsts as we used to in 1958 when I started in this business. But Skittles is here to fix that. During the Super Bowl, say the name Super Bowl, Skittles will air a live ad from the front porch of a real customer's house. Elijah Wood apparently is part of the spot, but it's unclear if he'll be in the spot. Their fancy pants announcement said this ad experience that cannot be paused, skipped, or muted. But Chris, that's pretty cool, right? A real live ad in the Super Bowl.
I don't know. A live ad can't be paused or skipped. Matthew, that's called a home invasion. But sure, let's just rebrand it as innovation and throw Frodo Baggins at it. All right, Matthew, it's time for Real, Recognize, Real, where we spotlight the campaigns that actually earned their media budget. This week, Michelob Ultra's Super Bowl spot starring Lewis Pullman as Greg, the perpetual loser who always gets stuck buying the round. Here's why this works. They took a beer commercial, and turned it into a full Rocky meets Karate Kid training montage. Kurt Russell plays the mysterious ski sensei. There's a horse. There's Eye of the Tiger playing in the background. There's an actual emotional arc about a guy who just wants to stop being the chump picking up the tab at the bottom of the ski hill. Most brands would have slapped together some slow-mo athletes, a six-pack glamour shot, and called it aspirational. Michelob said, what if we made people care about Greg? They hired Joseph Kosinski, the guy who made us believe Tom Cruise could still fly jets, and built a mini movie that's funny, self-aware, and somehow makes you root for a dude learning to ski just so he doesn't have to Venmo his friends again at the bottom of the hill. It's super charming, stupid clever, and probably will move more beer than another montage of abs and altitude ever could. Real recognize real, Matthew. Michelob Ultra, you earned this one.
Chris, for my real recognize real, we're going to do something just a tiny bit different. Instead of a campaign or an ad, I'm going to talk about some research that came out for Marketing Week this week. They are reporting that over 80% of marketers at one point in their career have had severe imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome, while it is in a lot of industries, I can personally attest that it is real in marketing and advertising. Imposter syndrome is basically the psychological sense that you are not qualified, you are in the wrong seat, that you should not be doing what you're doing. In marketing, it's really common because you're coming up with crazy ideas that no one's heard before. And it's real. The best people come up with the craziest ideas. And it's really easy to trick yourself into, I'm not the one who's supposed to be here. It's supposed to be someone else. And I am here to tell all marketers, actually, even if you don't have a marketing hat on, think about imposter syndrome. The best thing that you can do is reground yourself and say, my boss hired me to be here for a reason. I have X amount of experience. If you're new, you shouldn't be experiencing imposter syndrome anyway, because you kind of are an imposter. You're new. But if you've got some experience, think about your experience and ask any of your colleagues, say, I am experiencing this. Tell me, am I off? Sometimes you may be the imposter in the room, but more than likely, 99 out of 100 times, you're going to be great. And it's this weird psychological blip that's trying to screw you up. So, Chris, have you ever experienced imposter syndrome?
Yeah, I think, for me, honestly, Matthew, it just comes with putting in the work. Experience will help you gain confidence. That confidence will help you get past sort of these things. Because in a lot of cases, you think people are thinking about you, and they're really not thinking about you at all. And so you just, once you realize how little people think about you and what you're doing, then you could start to say, you know what, I'm just going to go through it. I'm going to improve. I'm going to get 1% better. And then pretty soon that imposter syndrome starts to melt away a little bit.
I love that. All right, now let's play the marketing over-under game. I put out a scenario. Chris provides the over-under, and you try to get on the right side of the call. This week, we talked about Skittles doing... Chris and I already corrected ourselves. We were going to say it's the first live ad ever, but then we remembered that they've been doing live ads for decades back before there was a way to record. But for Skittles, who's doing a live ad in the Super Bowl, say the name, Super Bowl this weekend, Skittles were originally introduced in the UK in 1974. First of all, I didn't know that. I didn't know they were British. They seem a little too happy to be British, to be honest.
Taste the rainbow.
What year were Skittles introduced to the US?
70. When was it in UK?
74.
74. Oh man, it took so long for candy to make it across the big river there.
The ships were so slow.
The ships were so slow. I'm going to say 1981. Over under 1981, so it's either prior or post 1981. Put your answer in the comments, and if you look down in the comments, there's a spot for you to do it right there on YouTube and all the places that we stick this particular show. So that's all for this week's Marketing, Machines, and Mischief. Please hit the subscribe-y button and the little thumb and the little bell, and just touch it. You don't have to smash it. Just be gentle this week. You don't want to break anything. Just touch the bell and touch the subscribe, and we appreciate all of you. But before you go, we have
a little lesson learned. It's a Super Bowl. Say it's game.
Bye.